What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you, definitive detail. Kind of a point one, if you will. Prozac put out a comment last night I wanted to respond to here. Talks about how the average time a quarterback has to throw the ball is 2.5 to 3 seconds. And when those linemen get off their block in less than a second, it assures us a realistic pocket time. And I agree with this. He makes a great point. I tell him that. 20 people agree with him, as a matter of fact. But I wanted to kind of go a little bit more in depth and talk about why this is a real problem. First and foremost, I don't think EA needs to be striving for realistic pocket times. Okay, there's very few people that can read a defense and make a decision in that amount of time. That's why they're NFL quarterbacks. Now, the other thing while this play comes up I want to talk about is that time is generally to the point where the first defensive player gets to the quarterback. That's important because we've got some elite pass rushers in the NFL, and it's not how Madden works. So if you've never rushed a quarterback, you kind of go to a launch point. I'm going to draw a diagram here for you. You're kind of going to where the quarterback is going to be, not where he is. So if we were blitzing him right now, we're running behind the center. He's not going to be there by the time we get there. Makes a lot of sense, right? So when we talk about blocking and reading a pocket, here's what happens in Madden. 1 minute, 46-second mark again. Got 4 players engaged, and you can kind of draw out here how the other players can get blocked. And in that span of a second, we go from one player being blocked to everyone else kind of disengaging. And Madden does this on these instant wins. Instant win means the player automatically won, and now he can pursue the quarterback. The problem is here, right before the quarterback gets sacked, you have 3 players completely unblocked and pursuing down to the quarterback. And the problem is, because I'm not bringing a blitz on this, I still kind of have a full coverage back behind this, and that becomes the problem. They almost need to cap how many players can get these instant wins on a play, because when you get that many and it's in less than a second, all of a sudden you've kind of got a massive disengagement on your offensive line, and you turn into what looks like an overload blitz even though you're running like a standard front. So you generally have a full complement of secondary players to an insane pass rush that you really don't even know is happening. So to me, like I said, I definitely agree with people and with Prozac when he talks about, this is the average NFL time that you have to throw the ball. But again, we're not talking about average NFL players. We're talking about regular people playing this game. And the way pressure is generated in the NFL is not through those instant win, instant loss animations. You don't have that kind of mass disengagement of linemen, which creates this problem. And I'm sure many of you, if you're willing to admit to it, when you deal with this type of pressure, like myself, you're prone to throwing interceptions. And the reason you're prone to do that is because you still have that full secondary back behind this. You have pressure where if you played football, you're saying there's so much pressure, there's so many players, there has to be an overload here. Let me throw the ball because there must be less people in the secondary, and that's just not the case. And like I said, I think a big part of this comes down to the instant win animations and how many can happen on any given play, and clearly here it confuses the computer the same way it would confuse a regular gamer. I appreciate you guys watching this, and I will be back very shortly with the next video.